You're looking for how to start your own grocery store. It's a great search. It shows me you're looking to become an entrepreneur, you're looking to become a business owner. I can definitely help you out with this. My name is Brando Linick. Hey there. And, this is just going to be a completely off-the-cuff video, just completely raw, not scripted or anything. And, my experience with this, the whole reason why you're actually going to want to pay attention, goes back over the last 3 years. Started a lot of different types of businesses. Some failed, some worked. The things that did work, it was your typical traditional business, sometimes working up to 14 hours a day, dealing with supplies, equipment, employees, alright? And if you want to start your own grocery store, I can point you in the right direction if you're serious about it. However, there are things you need to be aware of, and I've seen people who get started in trying to get a grocery store business up and off the ground, and they fail to ask themselves these questions and be aware of the circumstances that are necessarily when it comes to starting a grocery store business, and therefore, they just beat their head against the wall. And it's because you got to keep in mind you're dealing with supplies, equipment, employees, you're buying wholesale products typically from manufacturers or local farmers, alright, and you're marking it up retail price in your grocery store, which means you got to be pushing a lot of volume, a lot of sales every single day, every single week if you want to keep it sustainable, alright? So it's a tough business model because you got to do a lot of sales. It's not to say it's impossible, but these are just things you need to be aware of. And ask yourself the question, are you looking to start a grocery store because you thoroughly enjoy that process, or are you looking to start a grocery store because you want the leverage, the time freedom, the flexibility of doing what you want, when you want, wherever you want, alright? Because the two are very different. And, while you're asking yourself these questions, if you are looking at a grocery store, business because you want that leverage and flexibility, then I've got a lead I want to throw your way here. And if you hear me out here for just, a minute, my experience with this goes back a year ago, okay, when I transitioned myself from a traditional brick and mortar business, dealing with supplies, dealing with equipment, dealing with employees, inventory, and all those things that even go with a grocery store, okay, and I transitioned away from that to an online business. I came across a person who was profiting like 50 times the amount of money I was making every single month, in a whole year that I was making. And because they didn't have that overhead, because they're operating on the internet, they weren't dealing with inventory, they weren't dealing with shipping and handling, they weren't buying low and selling high, they weren't doing any of those things. They're traveling like 11 months out of the year. I started to model what they were doing, and a couple weeks later was able to create a full-time income working part-time. Haven't looked back since. I won't tell you the internet's the only way to go when it comes to starting a business, but I will say this, okay, if you're looking at starting a grocery store, you're looking at starting this type of business because you want that leverage, you want that flexibility, I would advise you to actually start an online business instead, alright? And the reason is because of all that overhead. The reason is because it is a very demanding sales process volume oriented business, meaning, like I said, you have to do thousands and hundreds of sales per month to keep it afloat and keep it sustainable, where you're not just covering your costs and expenses, but where you're actually profiting, okay? Profit is what's going to go into your bank account, where you can actually spend it on traveling and the things you want. So hopefully that makes sense. That's just my two cents on it. And, the best thing you could do, there's a lot of different online businesses out there. I would advise you just to connect with someone, find someone who's building a business online in a way that you want to get the results that you want, and just model what they're doing. It's what I did, can definitely work for you, and if you want to learn how to do that, I can be that person for you. If you're coachable, if you've got that drive, I can share with you step by step what I've been able to do to build an online business just in the last year at the time of shooting this video to create a full-time income working very part-time, very strategically, which I'll tell you, it did require work. I did have to learn some things, but if you're not afraid of that, okay, if you're that person, you're not afraid of that, you've got a drive, okay, check out my site. It's 123marketingtips.com. I'll put a link down below in the description. You'll see two videos there, one from myself, one from my business partner, both explain how you can do this to literally get a business up and off the ground online in the next couple hours. If you wish, we'll teach you that skill. You'll also see, a video from my business partner explaining in detail, super fine detail, how you can do this to get the results you want, and much more, along with testimonials from people who I personally work with, and pretty cool stuff. So appreciate you. It's been a pleasure and a privilege. I look forward to catching you on the next page. I look forward to seeing you, most importantly though, on the beach of the world this year, and have an awesome one, my friend. Take care.